What's up guys, Anthony Vapes here today, not with a review but with a face-off. This is the Alien versus the Predator versus the Kaos Spectrum. The Alien obviously came first, it's been out for a little bit, and it was such a popular mod, and still is such a popular mod, that Wizmic tried to make a version like it, and so did Sigelli. So we have the Predator and the Kaos. Wizmic obviously named theirs the Predator because Alien versus Predator. So it's pretty obvious that these three are supposed to be in direct competition. They're very similar looks, very similar sizes, very similar, specs listed from the companies. So it's clear that there's a lot of people out there who are going to be looking to purchase one of these three mods. So I wanted to make a video of which one I think is the best mod on an overall basis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and shoot up close, give you a side-by-side view of the three mods next to each other. Then I'll go into the tech testing results of the three mods. I'll put them up on the screen in the chart and go over it. And then I'll be back here to give you my final thoughts on who wins this shootout. Alright, let's take a side-by-side comparison of the Alien, the Predator, and the Kaos. As you can see, they're pretty much the same size and shape for the most part. As you can see, these got pretty decent 510 pins. This one, not so much. The Alien has a nice big screen, so does this. The Kaos screen is the same as the Fuchai 213 Plus, so it's really not that big, but it is color and looks pretty nice. Battery doors, they all operate pretty similar. This one and the Alien are practically the same, although the Kaos one is definitely a little tight and hard to open at times. You really got to put a little elbow grease to get that open. Oop. Alien's a little bit easier. And the Predator has more of a recessed one. So, pop the batteries out for now. On the backs of them, you're going to see, these two have firing bars too. So, this one here we got firing bar. This one just has a fire button. On the backs, this has like the little fake leather sticker thing. This is just kind of plain, and this one has a little carbon fiber sticker on it. I mean, they're all nice looking mods in my opinion. I do like the way that all three of them look. I do like the size and the feel of all three. So it's really up to preference. This has the LED that you could change the color on it. Some people may like it. I like it. Some people may not. And that's pretty much what you're getting. Alright, so let's take a look here at the side-by-side comparisons for the performance of the three mods. We got the Predator, the Kaos, and the Alien. Now, a couple things I want to say. The Predator was definitely the most inconsistent, not really putting out the same hit all the time. It fluctuated a lot more than often. The other two were pretty consistent in their output. So, that said, for the Predator, at the lower resistances, it was off by quite a bit because it's hitting the amp limit. For the higher resistances, it was much more accurate, not great. It was definitely inaccurate. As you can see, it maxed out at 204 watts. And basically across the board, it was hitting low, which is kind of odd because most of the Wizmic mods were normally hitting high. But for this one, it was definitely hitting weaker than what you would expect. And it fell a little bit short of the 228. Taking a look at the Kaos, of course the amp limit again kicking in at the lower resistances, causing it to be much lower. At 100 watts though, it was a very accurate mod, not being off more by 3 watts. So that's pretty impressive in my book. So for 100 watts or less, it's very accurate. As you start going higher though, it loses its accuracy. But with a 0.2 ohm resistance, the higher ones I test, because all these are basically, this is around a 0.11, 0.12 for them. This is around the 0.15-ish. This is around a 0.2-ish. That's how it is for all of these charts. So once you hit around the 0.2, it does hit its volt limit at 174, but it's accurate at that resistance. Where the Predator, it was still kind of low. It never really gained the full accuracy. Looking at the Alien had 223 watts as the max out on it, and its accuracy was up and down. It was sometimes high, sometimes low. It wasn't really consistent as far as that. But once you got to like the 0.15-ish range, it was pretty accurate. I mean, it's 3 watts off here, 7 here, 2 here, 6 here, 5 here, and 1 there. So it's pretty accurate there, and the same with the with the higher part of the resistance to 0.2. Once you get past the limits of it, it was only 2 watts here, 5 here, 2 here, and 3 there. So that's pretty accurate compared to the rest of them. When you're looking at the 150s, it was off by quite a bit here. I mean, 15 watts for the Predator, 27 watts for the Kaos. So overall, performance-wise, the Alien was the most accurate for watt mode out of these 3 mods. If we take a look here at the limits, it also had the highest amp limit and the highest watt limit of the 3 mods. Now, mind you, with these dual battery mods, and most of us using 20 amp batteries because we like the battery life, I don't recommend vaping over 150 anyway. I really don't. But I mean, you could throw in like VTC 5.8 and push it up to like 175 if you wanted to, but the battery life's, again, not going to be that great. Definitely don't recommend vaping 200 watts on any of them, but to be fair, all 3 of them do, 200 plus watts. The Kaos fell short of its 235. The Predator fell short of its 228. So they're both overrated, but not by that much. Nothing unreasonable. And the Alien hits its 220 and even a couple extra watts in there. And the extra amp limit on it also helps with the really low resistances. As you can see, at the lower resistances, it was still able to put out almost 200 watts because of the higher amp limit that you can get out of it, where the Predator was stuck at 173 and the Kaos at 163 because, again, the amp limit. The Predator did, however, put out the most actual voltage at about 6.4, while the other ones tapped out around 6. That's pretty normal performance for dual battery mods. Most of them tap out between 35 and 40 amps, and most of them tap out around 6 volts as well. There are a few, I think, that do 7.5 volts, but for the most part, this is pretty standard. This is the way I'm looking at the performance. I do think the Alien was overall the most accurate of them. The Kaos would probably come in second, and the Predator definitely last out of the 3. So that's a look at the results there. Let's go ahead into the outro, and we'll go over basically the pros and cons of them, and we'll go over which one that I recommend out of this face-off. Alright guys, that was a lot of information there to look at between the 3 mods. Let's go over my final thoughts on who wins this shootout. So, first off, I have to do the easy part, which means I'm eliminating this Predator. Why? Because it's built very poorly. 510 pins are popping out on it, the performance is very inconsistent, not happy with this device at all, and there's no way I would ever recommend anyone to go out and buy this device. That now makes it a 2-horse race. We got the Alien and we got the Kaos. So which one's going to win in this face-off? Well, for me, I'm going to give this to the Kaos. Now, mind you, I do really like the Alien. I think it's a very good watt mod, and I have 3 of them. One of them has an immaculate paint job, one has a bad paint job, but it still doesn't chip that much, and then one has like a decent paint job. But I'm going to give this to Sigelei, and here's the reason why. Well, they're both good performers in watt mode. Sigelei actually works in temp control pretty decently. The Alien does not. So the fact that the Alien's temp control is not working, Sigelei's does, is a huge plus for the Sigelei Kaos. The next reason is the build quality. I've seen some issues with some of the Aliens. I do think there might be some quality control, even though I haven't personally, or no one I know personally, have had issues with it. I have seen some of them online. I've never seen any issues with the Kaos. And to be perfectly fair to Sigelei, all their mods seem to be very well built and last a long time. You don't have issues with 510 pins or paint chipping or anything like that. They don't just die. Most of their mods will usually last you a very 3-4 years. I mean, I still have, well, I gave it away to a friend, but he's still using it to this day. A 3-4-year-old, whatever it came out, Sigelei 150 mod. Non-temp control, nothing, just the original silver 150 box. Still works to this day, and I've dropped it probably over 100 times. It was my daily driver for quite a while, so their mods are actually really good quality. They're really well built, and the Kaos is no exception to that. It's a nice built, nice quality mod. Now, that's going to be the winner for me. If you did want to pick an Alien, it's still a good mod to pick, but just remember there's some asterisks to go with it, where the paint might chip on it, but that's really the only major concern I would have. That and the temp control doesn't work. Overall though, the Kaos is literally the best out of these 3 mods, and it's crazy because it's easily the least popular and the worst seller out of the 3, which goes to show how much advertising has taken over for information in the vaping business. The advertising and people going around recommending stuff when they really shouldn't be doing it is causing a huge wave in the industry of people buying poor products and ignoring ones that are actually pretty well built. It's kind of sad, but that's going to be a video for another day. Nonetheless, if you're choosing between these three, go with the Kaos. It is the best overall mod. The Predators, the Aliens, a pretty good choice as well. Stay away from the Predator, run away from it. Don't even think about getting one. If anyone even tells you should buy one, just ignore anything they say forever in the future. Because clearly they have no idea what they're talking about. So, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you find this video helpful. I liked what you saw. So if you did, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe on the bottom. Feel free to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Throw down any comments below if you have any. This is Anthony Vapes as always, keeping it honest. Hopefully you guys can say you're doing the same, and I'll catch you on my next review.